negativity and nonsense, it can be easy to feel helpless and want to just block the world out. But
The Beyonce Files. When unreleased music becomes criminal evidence. If you thought celebrity drama couldn't get any more intense, think again. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because Celebrity Program TV is about to take you inside one of the most shocking theft cases in music industry history. What happens when someone steals the crown jewels of pop culture? What happens when those crown jewels belong to Queen Bey herself? Today, we're diving deep into a story that reads like a Hollywood thriller, where unreleased Beyonce music, criminal enterprise, and the music industry's darkest secrets collide in ways that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about celebrity security. The summer heat in Atlanta was nothing compared to the fire that erupted when law enforcement received a 911 call that would send shockwaves through the entertainment world. July 8th started like any other day, but it would end with one of the most audacious thefts in recent celebrity history. Picture this: you're Beyoncé's choreographer, touring with the biggest superstar on the planet, carrying digital gold in the form of unreleased music that could reshape the industry overnight. Now imagine that gold being ripped away in broad daylight by someone who clearly had no idea what they were dealing with. This isn't just about stolen property. This is about stolen dreams, stolen artistry, and stolen pieces of cultural history that fans may never get to experience. The voice on that 911 call tells a story that cuts right to the heart of what makes this case so extraordinary. "I have my computers, and they contain data that is extremely crucial," the unidentified caller desperately explained to emergency dispatchers. "But here's where it gets really interesting," they continued. "I really need my computer and everything else to work with someone of a high status." Someone of high status. In the music industry there's high status and then there's Beyoncé status. We're talking about an artist whose single sneeze can trend worldwide, whose unreleased vocals have been known to leak for millions of dollars on underground music markets, whose creative process is so secretive that NDAs are signed in blood. The suspect, Kelvin Evans, probably thought he was pulling off a routine car break-in that summer day in Atlanta. He probably saw an expensive SUV, maybe noticed some electronic equipment inside, and figured he'd hit the jackpot with some easy-to-sell tech gear. What he didn't realize was that he was about to become the center of a federal investigation that would expose just how vulnerable even the most protected celebrities really are. Evans is now sitting in custody, facing charges of breaking into a motor vehicle with intent to commit theft. But the real story goes so much deeper than a simple smash-and-grab operation. Here's what law enforcement discovered that should terrify every artist, every manager, and every industry executive listening right now. The stolen items weren't just taken from any random vehicle. They were taken from a rental car being used by Beyoncé's choreographer during the Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta. Think about that for a moment. This wasn't some amateur hour mistake. This was a targeted theft during one of the most high-profile tours of the decade, in a city where celebrity security should have been at its absolute peak. The fact that unreleased music, potentially worth millions of dollars, was sitting in a rental car speaks to either incredible carelessness or a fundamental breakdown in how the music industry protects its most valuable assets. But here's where this story takes a turn that nobody saw coming, and if you're not subscribed to Celebrity Program TV yet, you're going to want to hit that button right now because we're about to reveal details that other channels won't touch. The hard drives and other stolen items. They're still missing. Vanished into the digital underground where unreleased celebrity content changes hands for enormous sums of money. We're talking about a black market so sophisticated that leaked snippets from major artists can fund entire criminal operations. The FBI has task forces dedicated to tracking stolen digital content, and when it involves someone of Beyoncé's caliber, you can bet that every resource available is being deployed to track down these drives. Evans might think he's just facing a simple theft charge, but the reality is far more complex and far more dangerous. Federal prosecutors have been known to throw the book at people who steal intellectual property from major artists. We're talking about potential charges under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, federal theft statutes, and if these drives contain enough unreleased material, possibly even racketeering charges if they can prove connection to larger music piracy operations. This isn't just about the hardware. It's about the priceless creative content that could reshape Beyoncé's artistic timeline and cost her team millions in lost revenue, compromised release strategies, and damaged creative control. The silence from Beyoncé's camp speaks volumes about just how serious this situation really is. When celebrities face controversy, they usually release statements within hours. When they face potential security breaches, they lawyer up and go silent. CNN reached out to Beyoncé's representatives, and the response was radio silence. Not even a no comment. That level of media lockdown suggests that whatever was on those hard drives goes beyond just unreleased songs. We could be talking about entire albums, collaborative projects with other A-list artists, business strategies, tour plans, or even personal content that was never meant for public consumption. Industry insiders are whispering about what this theft could mean for the broader entertainment landscape. If you thought celebrity privacy was already under siege, this case proves that even the most carefully guarded creative processes are vulnerable to criminal interference. Record labels are reportedly reviewing their digital security protocols, tour managers are reassessing how sensitive materials are transported, and artists are being forced to confront the reality that their creative work is now a target for sophisticated criminal enterprises that understand the street value of unreleased music. The Atlanta Police Department's investigation has revealed disturbing details about how easily criminal actors can infiltrate celebrity tour operations. The fact that valuable digital assets were stored in a rental vehicle during a major tour stop raises questions about industry-wide security practices that should have every artist and their team demanding answers. Are tour security protocols adequate for protecting digital assets? Are rental car companies properly briefed on the sensitivity of materials being transported? How many other high-profile thefts have occurred that never made it to public attention? Remember to subscribe to Celebrity Program TV because we're the only channel bringing you these insider details that mainstream media won't touch. The criminal complaint against Evans provides just a glimpse into a much larger investigation that could expose systemic vulnerabilities in how the music industry protects its most valuable assets. Federal law enforcement sources suggest that this case is part of a broader crackdown on digital piracy operations that specifically target celebrity content. The underground market for unreleased music is reportedly worth hundreds of millions of dollars annually, with sophisticated networks of buyers, sellers, and distributors operating across international boundaries. What makes this case particularly intriguing is the timing. The Cowboy Carter tour represented a massive cultural moment, with Beyoncé exploring new musical territories and collaborating with artists across multiple genres. The stolen hard drives could contain collaborations that would never see the light of day otherwise, alternate versions of released tracks, or entirely new musical directions that could influence the industry for years to come. The criminal who stole these drives might not have realized it, but they potentially altered the course of music history by removing these creative works from their intended trajectory. The investigation has also highlighted the increasingly sophisticated methods criminals use to target celebrity assets. Law enforcement sources indicate that Evans may not have been acting alone, and that the Atlanta theft could be connected to a larger network of individuals who specifically research celebrity tour schedules, identify vulnerable moments, and execute targeted thefts designed to capture valuable digital content. This isn't random crime. This is organized criminal enterprise specifically designed to exploit the entertainment industry's most valuable assets. Evans remains in custody while investigators work to trace the stolen hard drives through digital forensics and underground market surveillance. The challenge facing law enforcement is that once digital content enters the black market, it can be copied, distributed, and sold across multiple platforms within hours. Even if they recover the original hard drives, there's no guarantee that copies haven't already been made and distributed to buyers around the world. The potential financial damage to Beyoncé and her team could be catastrophic, extending far beyond the immediate value of the stolen hardware. Legal experts suggest that this case could set important precedents for how courts handle theft of celebrity intellectual property. The intersection of traditional theft charges, federal digital crime statutes, and intellectual property law creates a complex legal landscape that could influence how similar cases are prosecuted in the future. If Evans is convicted and receives a significant sentence, it could serve as a deterrent to other criminals considering similar operations. However, if the legal response is perceived as inadequate, it could embolden more sophisticated criminal enterprises to target celebrity digital assets. The broader implications for the music industry cannot be overstated. Artists, managers, and record labels are being forced to confront the reality that their creative processes are under siege from criminal enterprises that understand the enormous value of unreleased content. This case proves that traditional physical security measures are inadequate for protecting digital assets, and that the industry needs to develop new approaches to safeguarding creative work throughout the production and tour process. As this investigation continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the theft of Beyoncé's unreleased music represents a watershed moment for celebrity security and digital asset protection. The criminal who thought they were pulling off a simple car break-in instead triggered a federal investigation that could reshape how the entertainment industry protects its most valuable assets. Make sure you're subscribed to Celebrity Program TV and hit that notification bell, because we'll continue following this story as new details emerge, bringing you the insider information and expert analysis you can't find anywhere else. The intersection of celebrity culture, criminal enterprise, and digital security has never been more dangerous or more fascinating, and we're just getting started uncovering the truth behind the headlines.